Now just before you continue watching this video, please note that I do talk about major spoilers from Marvel Studios' Avengers Endgame. So if you have yet to see the film, then I'd highly recommend that you click off this video and go see it as soon as possible, because it is hands down the must-see film of the year. What's going on, everybody? It's Game Unboxing Reviews here, and welcome back to another LEGO DC Supervillains video. So in today's video, I'm of course going to be showing you guys how to make Professor Hulk from Avengers Endgame using the in-game Customiser. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so to start off with, we're of course going to head into Appearance, Head, and then Head again, and you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom until you find Custom Head 8, and of course this skin tone right here. Then once you've done that, you're going to back out of there, go into Face Decal Color, which is the color of the eyebrows and beard, which we want to make sure are black. For the Wrinkle Decal Color, just go ahead and make it black also, and we don't need any accessories, so of course we can back out of there, go into Hair, and you're going to scroll all the way to the very bottom until you find Perry White's hair, which is of course this piece right here. Now then, for the first color you're going to go with dark grey, while the second color needs to be black. Nice. Now then, onto the body. So for the body we're going to go for preset body, and you're going to scroll all the way to the very bottom until you find Zoom's body in dark grey. Now Zoom is a character that is included in the TV Supervillains character pack, so you will need that DLC if you want to be able to make my very own custom version of Professor Hulk in this game. But if you do have that piece, once you've chosen it, you're of course going to back out of there, go into arms, both arms, and we're going to go with Adam Strange's arms. Now then, for the first color, what you want to do is make sure that you go with purple, while the second color is going to be dark grey, just the same as the body. Nice. Now then, for the hands, we're going to go ahead and match them with the skin tone like this. For the hips, you're going to scroll all the way to the very bottom until you find Malcolm Merlin's, which are these ones right here, yet again in dark grey. And finally, for the legs, we're going to go to both legs and choose Adam Strange's legs. So for the first color, you're going to go with purple, while the second color is going to be dark grey. Nice. Now then, onto the effects. So I would say the effects are probably optional for this character. However, personally, I decided to give his effects a more realistic look. So we don't need a left-hand glow or a right-hand glow, but for the hit impact effects, we're going to turn that on. Make sure that you go with style 1, and then for the color, we're going to go with black. And you're also going to do the same for the jump slam effects as well. So you're going to turn them on, make sure that you go with style 1, and then for the color, we're going to go with black. Because as you can see here, it leaves off less of an effect as possible. Nice. Now then, onto the abilities. So we don't need to add any abilities to the tag button, but for the jump button, we're going to go to double tap X, double jump, turn that on, and we're going to go with double jump style 1. And while we're at it, we'll also add the hyper jump ability on hold X as well. Now then, for the square button, we're just going to leave tap square, because obviously you want Professor Hulk to actually be able to punch his enemies. But on hold square, we're going to go down to lunge attack, so we're going to turn that on and make sure that you go with lunge style 2, because as you can now see here, he can run towards his enemies and punch and kick them, which is very cool. Now then, for the circle button, on tap circle, I went ahead and gave him the explosion attack ability. So we're going to turn that on, make sure that you go with, I believe it's explosion style 4, yep, that one right there. For the effects, we're going to go with the first one. For the damage type, I would say go with a sonar explosion, just because it makes him a little bit more useful. And then for the color, we're going to go with black, because obviously we want less of an effect as possible. And finally, on hold circle, we're going to go to destroy mode, turn that on, make sure that you go with destroy mode style 2. Nice. Now then, onto the skills. So obviously Professor Hulk is the merge between both Bruce Banner and the Incredible Hulk. So essentially what we need to do is give this custom character skills that work for both Bruce Banner and the Hulk. So we don't need a grapple gun, but we're definitely going to add technology. We don't need acrobatics, and we definitely don't need mind control or telekinesis, but we will add wall climbing, smash walls, super strength. We don't need any of these abilities, but I think we'll have tracking, so we're going to turn that on, and I think we'll go ahead and make it purple, because I bet that looks cool. Yep, that looks awesome. And to top it off, I think we'll go ahead and give him hazard protection. Nice. Now then, onto the personality. So for the health icon, I'm just going to go with purple. For the health type, we're going to go with standard health. For the voice, just choose any male voice. For the speed, go with normal. For the target reticle, there aren't really many options here that work for the Hulk, so I'd say probably just go with live wires, which I've of course given most of my Avengers Endgame custom characters in this game. And finally, of course, we need to choose an animation. Now obviously, if I was making the shirtless Hulk with the rip pants and everything, then I would of course go with the strong animation type. However, here's the thing, because obviously in this movie it's a much more intelligent version of the Hulk, because of course it's Bruce Banner with the Hulk's body. So I would recommend going with the cool animation set. Alright, cool, so we have done the appearance, the effects, the abilities, the personality. We obviously don't need any weapons, so now all we need to do is fill in the basic information. So for the status, we're of course going to put hero, for the affiliation we're going to put unknown, and then for the name, we're of course going to put Professor Hulk. Nice. Alright, cool, so now of course what we're going to do is drop Professor Hulk into the hub world and see just what he can do. And here he is! This is of course my custom made Professor Hulk from Avengers Endgame, made in LEGO DC Supervillains. Let's just get a good look at him right here. Now I have to be perfectly honest, because this is honestly one of my favourite custom characters to date. I mean, it really does look like Professor Hulk from the movie, so as you can tell, I am extremely happy with the way that he turned out. Anyway, enough chit chat, what can he actually do? Well, of course he can jump and double jump in the air, as well as hyper jump, which I'll of course showcase more in a little bit. In terms of melee combat, we can attack like this. We can also perform a jump attack in the air, which destroys multiple objects and enemies, which is awesome. We can also target multiple objects and enemies and rush towards them like this. Watch as he wipes everything out. That was a bit weird, but still very cool. If we tap circle, of course we can do the explosive attack like this. And finally, of course, we can also rush towards our enemies and attack them as well, which is awesome. Alright, cool, so now of course what we're going to do is head on into Metropolis and fight the police, because obviously this is LEGO DC Supervillains. We're not going to be stopping the crimes, we're going to be the ones starting them. Just as another friendly reminder, I am about to talk about major spoilers from Marvel Studios' Avengers Endgame in this section of the video. So again, if you haven't seen the movie, then please click off the video right now, because you do not want this film spoiled for you. Now, the Hulk is actually one of those characters that had arguably some of the most controversial changes in Avengers Endgame, because if we skip everything after the 5 years since Thanos snapped his fingers and wiped out half of all life in the universe, we find Steve Rogers, Natasha Romanoff, and Scott Lang in a diner with the Hulk of all people, only this time he's talking perfect English with the voice of Bruce Banner. And it is then of course that Banner explains that after years of trying to get rid of the Hulk like he was some kind of disease, he eventually started looking at him as the cure, and after 18 months in a gamma lab, he put the brains and the brawn together, thus making what some of you will know from the comics as Professor Hulk, the best of both worlds. Now what's interesting about that gamma lab story is that Endgame's writers Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely apparently originally wrote it as an actual scene for the film, which personally I think could have really worked as a nice callback to Banner's origin in The Incredible Hulk, but at the same time it would have definitely delayed the story, and we obviously wouldn't have got that great selfie scene in the diner. Now one other thing that I really liked about this movie but haven't actually noticed anyone talking about yet is during the scene when Bruce travels with Scott, Tony and Steve back to the Battle of New York in 2012, because before Bruce starts hilariously trying to imitate 2012's Hulk, we see him wearing a black tank top and ripped jeans, which is actually exactly what Professor Hulk wears in the comics, minus the colour of his jeans. But still, whether that was intentional or not, I just found it to be a really cool reference to his original look from the 90s. So one of my favourite scenes in this movie was also set during the Battle of New York in 2012, and it's when Bruce goes to see Doctor Strange at the Sanctum Sanctorum, but is instead of course greeted by the Ancient One, played by the brilliant Tilda Swinton, who I absolutely loved in this movie. I mean, seeing her separate the Hulk from his astral form as Bruce Banner was just awesome, and I absolutely love the fact that when you now rewatch the Avengers, it's cool to think that she too is also fighting off the Chitauri forces as she protects the Sanctum on the other side of the city. And of course, after the time heist, we see Banner wielding the power of all 6 Infinity Stones before snapping his fingers with the new gauntlet, which of course results in the resurrection of everyone that was dusted during the snap, which is great of course, but as we soon see, Bruce has also seriously damaged his arm, and if I remember correctly, at the end of the movie he actually has a sling around it as well, so hopefully it'll be all healed up when we see him again, whenever that may be. I mean, the thing is, we have a rough idea of where everyone is going next in the MCU except for him, due to the fact that there just will not be another standalone Hulk movie. I mean, I'm still hoping that we get to see Red Hulk and the Thunderbolts later down the line, and maybe even the return of Abomination with the leader cliffhanger finally being resolved. It also would have been cool to see him head off into space with Thor and the Guardians, but I suppose that probably would have just felt too much like Thor Ragnarok, so for now, just one Avenger is probably enough for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Although Spider-Man 3 would also be a very cool movie for Hulk to appear in, because I've always wanted to see those two characters interacting with each other on the big screen. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video, so I want to thank you all very much for watching. Stay tuned for lots more videos real soon, and as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.